Chapter 1131 Swallowed Star. The Zoi leader, the Thousand Shadows Venerable, Xianhua Venerable, and Luo Feng had already spread their divine powers around the hammer. The moment the blue hammer appeared, the divine powers from all directions tried to enter and recognize it as its master. However, it was just like the time when they fought to recognize the sealing star as its master. Everyone fought to recognize it as its master, but naturally, they all failed. The life mark had to be left alone and not be disturbed. Another trash. Xianhua roared, all of you scram. Dream on. The Thousand Shadows Venerable controlled the 1,000 phantoms to envelop supremacy Xianhua, hindering his advance. Break. Paragon Xianhua swung his hammer and smashed the illusions apart. The illusions were actually flying daggers that were as thin as cicadas' wings. There were 1,000 of them, and every single one of them had a secret law rune on it. Countless law threads connected to each other, making the 1,000 flying daggers look like they were a single entity. Even though every knife was just a treasure, with 1,000 of them stacking together, it was enough to match a high-level treasure. Hua. Luo Feng, who was diving down, immediately split into two people. One was the tall and sturdy figure still covered in black flames, Moshe clansman transformation, and the other was Luo Feng, who had just broken a world ring and came out. Like those normal world rings, Luo Feng had prepared over 10,000 of them. After all, during a true battle, the god energy ripples didn't allow for world energy to guide him. Hence, the fastest way to leave the world ring was to break a world. To Luo Feng, breaking a world, just the god energy ripples alone were enough to cause the land and skies to collapse and the world to shatter. Rumble. The golden waves surged and instantly filled a large area of the vast forest, turning the forest into a surging golden river. Naturally, the Lord of Xavier, the Thousand Shadows Venerable, and Venerable Xianhua felt the strong resistance of the golden river, causing their speed to decrease sharply. And the 9 beasts within the endless golden river surrounded the hammer and grabbed it as they flew towards Luo Feng. Silence. Supremacy Xianhua, the Lord of Xavier, and the Thousand Shadows Venerable all stopped fighting, while the 30 or so venerables in the sky stared at the scene below in a daze. This scene was completely unexpected. They all thought that the 4 warriors would engage in a bloody battle. Who would have thought that one side actually had a domain treasure? That is 9 Nether River. It's the 9 Hell River, Luo Feng's 9 Hell River. Domain type Supreme Treasure, 9 Nether River. Luo Feng is here. The shocked silence in mid-air quickly turned into an uproar, all of them looking over. On the surging golden river, a black-haired young man with silver armor and silver wings and a saber on his back was standing on the waves with a smile on his face. It was the human Luo Feng. Luo Feng. It's Luo Feng. Lord Xianhua, Zoi leader, and Thousand Shadows were all shocked. They never thought that after such a fierce battle, the one who would benefit in the end would actually be the legendary human Luo Feng. The waves surged and the 9 beasts revolved around, sending the god hammer to Luo Feng's hands. Luo Feng extended his hand and received it. As for the Moshe clansman, it had long entered the world ring. The two of you fought so fiercely. It might seem cruel to let you rejoice for nothing, but I'm sorry, I'll still accept this precious treasure. Luo Feng's divine body naturally blocked off all external divine power. He easily made the hammer recognize him as its master and stored it in his world ring. Let's go. Let's go. It's Luo Feng. If we're too slow, we'll be dead. The foreign warriors in mid-air all swiftly fled. Even Thousand Shadows and Zoi leader exchanged glances. Luo Feng's reputation was simply too great. He was someone who had killed a universe overlord before. And a few overlords had fallen at his hands. No matter how good the treasure was, it wasn't as important as their lives. The two of them swiftly broke through the waves and flew far away. Ferocious. This was true fame. The moment Luo Feng appeared, The universe warriors, including the two universe overlords, immediately retreated. Only the pinnacle of the universe overlord Xianhua stood amidst the surging 9 nether river waves, glaring angrily at Luo Feng. Human Luo Feng, you actually dare to appear on the primal star? Xianhua roared. Why wouldn't I dare? Luo Feng stood amidst the waves and laughed softly. He had guessed that the moment he appeared, Xianhua and the other foreign warriors would immediately inform the powers behind them. However, this was all within his calculations. For this battle that would make him famous, Luo Feng had already made ample preparations. Good, very good. Xianhua bent over, the blood-red eye under his snow-white fur grew even more frenzied. Zoi leader and those two bastards are afraid of you. However, in front of me, you're just a joke. He indeed wasn't afraid of Luo Feng at all. His life force level was about 2,000 times. From his point of view, even if Luo Feng was thousands of times stronger, there wouldn't be much of a difference. What's more, his body was much larger than Luo Feng's. Even if they fought head-on, he would still have the advantage. Joke? Luo Feng gently grabbed the blood shadow blade on his back and pulled it out. Caressing the blade, he lowered his head and looked at it. I've killed universe overlords before. However, I've never killed an elite one. I've heard that even universe lords find it hard to kill an elite one. I want to try. Double quote. You want to kill me? Xianhua's blood-red eye stared wide open, as though he had heard the biggest joke in the world. Right, I want to kill you. Luo Feng nodded. His voice reverberated throughout the area. In the distance, the foreign race knights who had already escaped beyond the Nine-Meing River area were all watching from afar. As long as they maintained a sufficient distance from Luo Feng, they wouldn't be afraid. And from the looks of it, the two elite universe overlords were about to battle. How could they miss such an exciting battle? When they heard Luo Feng's words, the foreign race knights, including Zoi leader and Thousand Shadows, were all shocked. Haha, what a joke, what a joke. After killing a few universe overlords, you dare say you want to kill me. Even universe lords don't have the confidence, much less you. Human Luo Feng, I'll let you know how strong a true elite universe overlord is. Xianhua roared. He wielded a hammer in each hand and strode forward, rumbling as he rushed towards Luo Feng. Luo Feng wielded the blood shadow blade and stood there smiling. The foreign venerables, including the Lord of Zoi and the Thousand Shadows Venerable, were watching carefully from above the Nine Ghost River. The distance between the two swiftly closed. 100,000 kilometers, 50,000 kilometers. Roar. The originally smiling Luo Feng suddenly changed. His eyes were filled with ferocity, almost as though he had transformed into a beast god. With a flash of lightning, he charged forward. His calm smile before, however, the moment he exploded, he was like an erupting volcano, becoming berserk and unstoppable. His energy was much stronger than his opponent's. The hammer tore through the air. The blood shadow blade slashed forward. Rumble. The two clashed. Luo Feng retreated 3 steps. And the madly charging Xianhua knight was sent flying backwards. However, he twisted his body in mid-air and stopped. No wonder you can kill a universe overlord. You are stronger than me, however your strength is limited. You can't even completely suppress me, haha. Xianhua knight had long expected Luo Feng to be stronger than him. After all, Luo Feng could easily kill a universe overlord. This was something he, Xianhua knight, couldn't do. From this exchange, Xianhua knight swiftly deduced that Luo Feng was only slightly stronger than him. Really? Luo Feng wielded the blood shadow blade and stepped on the golden waves as he walked over. What he unleashed earlier was the universe overlord's ultimate technique, Heavy Mountain. It was comparable to Xianhua knight's technique. He only relied on his body and weapon to gain the upper hand. Haha, you still want to fight? Let's see how many times your body can last. Xianhua Knight took a big step forward. With the hammers in his hands, the space around him trembled. Luo Feng's eyes gleamed coldly. That was just a warm-up. He wanted to carefully feel Xianhua Knight's strength. After the exchange, he deduced that even if he unleashed the Universe Lord's pinnacle techniques Golden Mountain and Golden River, he probably wouldn't be able to kill his opponent in a short time. He had to unleash the Universe Lord's ultimate technique Golden Light. There were more foreign race warriors in mid-air, a total of 30 over. They came from the various powers of the universe. All of them were carefully watching the battle. However, Zoe Leader said directly, the pinnacle of the universe overlords are strong. Their bodies are strong too. Luo Feng only has the upper hand. If he keeps fighting and exhausting his body, the human Luo Feng might actually fall. His expression froze. Up in the sky, the 30 or so alien venerables who were discussing quietly were all stunned as they watched the scene unfold below them in shock. Below, in the 9-mile river, Luo Feng and Xianhua Knight clashed. That golden light shone, a resplendent golden light. A dazzling golden light, sharp and cold. Ping! Xianhua Knight's hammers were slashed by the blade and smashed into his own body. That blade was infused with unbelievable power. It immediately crashed into the high-level armor. It immediately reached the limits of a high-level armor. Xianhua Knight could even hear the armor ringing. How can it be so strong? Xianhua Knight's blood-red eye was filled with shock and disbelief. Rumble. Xianhua Knight was immediately flung away. Like a broken sandbag, he had no strength to resist. His body trembled from the impact. 11% loss, how can this be? Is he a Universe Lord? Has he already broken through to become a Universe Lord? Xianhua Knight was completely shocked. Even though his body wasn't too big, it was still close to 10 kilometers tall. One blade and it drained 11% of his body. That was too much. This was definitely something only a Universe Lord could do. Back then when Luo Feng killed Zhongshan Knight, he needed 2 blades. One blade drained half of his body. Xianhua Knight and Zhongshan Knight both had high-level armor. However, his god energy purity was 20 times that of Zhongshan Knight's. However, after Luo Feng became a Universe Lord, his god energy purity was 100 times that of before. And his weapon changed from the Zhangyu blade to the Extreme Treasure Blood Shadow blade. This gave Luo Feng an even greater advantage. And at this level of battle, the high-level armor's defense was much weaker. Hence with just one blade, it destroyed 11% of his god body. The 30 over foreign race warriors in mid-air were shocked to find that Xianhua Knight's energy was obviously weakening. The weakening was very clear. It was at least 10% weaker. One blade and it caused an elite Universe Lord to lose close to 10% of his god body? They were completely shocked by the scene. This was definitely something only a Universe Lord could do. Chapter 1132 Swallowed Star. If the difference in strength between the two wasn't huge, the recoil from the clash would cause Luo Feng to slow down or even retreat. However, the difference between the two was simply too huge. Unleashing the Universe Lord's ultimate technique, Luo Feng was like a true Universe Lord. After the first slash, he followed closely behind Xianhua's body and slashed again. Not good, one slash after another, 9 slashes will be enough to kill me. Xianhua couldn't care less about the shock of Luo Feng becoming a Universe Lord. Escaping was the most important thing now. White Needle. A huge white shuttle-shaped object suddenly appeared behind Xianhua Knight. It was about 1,000 kilometers long, completely white and extremely glossy. The moment it appeared, it immediately flew towards Xianhua Knight. Xianhua Knight followed the force of Luo Feng's second slash and flew over, entering the white shuttle-shaped object. After escaping into the shuttle, Xianhua finally let out a sigh of relief. I was almost killed by this Luo Feng. Xian Hua's snow-white fur-covered blood-red eye was filled with fear. Too strong. Luo Feng only revealed a little bit of his strength at the start, he was hiding it all. The strength he revealed after was completely at the Universe Lord level. Double quote. Sinister. Too sinister. That slash was so fast I couldn't dodge, so strong I couldn't defend against it. The profoundness was deep and profound, I couldn't even see through it. It was definitely a Universe Lord's technique, and it was probably the ultimate technique. Such a technique could only be created by a Universe Lord. And only a Universe Lord could injure me. This Luo Feng becoming a Universe Lord, he actually hid it from the public. Xian Hua was nervous and excited. Luckily, when I offered up the clan treasures to exchange for treasures, I chose the white needle and not the armor. Xian Hua exclaimed within. As an elite Universe Lord, his wealth naturally far exceeded normal Universe Lords. Over the countless years of accumulation, he had even roamed the Universe Sea for a long time. He had many treasures. During this opening of the primal planet, he naturally planned to exchange for an important treasure to protect himself. At that time, he had two choices. One was to exchange for a supreme treasure armor, 100 supreme treasure points were enough for the human race. Two was to exchange for a high-grade flying palace treasure, the cheapest among the human race was also around 200 supreme treasure points. Obviously, treasures of the flying palaces were more expensive. However, he still gritted his teeth and traded for this flying palace treasure regardless of the price. I made the right choice. If I had gotten a top-grade supreme treasure armor back then, even though its defense would have been stronger, it would have been much stronger. However, his attacks are too terrifying. Even with the top-level armor, one move can hurt at least 1,000 of me. With this Luo Feng surrounding me, even if he slashes me over 1,000 times, I'll still die. Supremacy. Xianhua heaved a sigh of relief. Now that he was hiding in a flying palace, he had nothing to fear. Horizontal ellipsis. The Nine-Ghost River was vast and mighty. Luo Feng stood within the golden waves, looking at the white shuttle floating in the distance. His expression changed. Flying palace-type treasure. Haha, Luo Feng. A voice resounded from the white shuttle. I respect you. You're probably one of the top geniuses of the trillions of races in the vast universe. Training for such a short period of time, the other warriors all think you're an absolute tyrant of the universe. However, they never expected you to actually be a Universe Lord. If not for this flying palace treasure, I'm afraid I'd have died today. Hahaha, however now, I'm afraid you're out of luck. Double quote. I'm out of luck? Luo Feng looked at the white shuttle. Very angry, very angry. However, what can you do to me? I'm within the flying palace. Even if you're 10 or 100 times stronger, you can only stare. Supremacy. Xianhua's sharp voice resounded from within the white shuttle. Luo Feng too felt that he had miscalculated. He had made very detailed preparations for this battle that would make him famous. He had also anticipated many unexpected situations. The paragon of Xianhua having a flying palace was one of the worst situations. Although he had proven his strength, and many experts had seen it from afar, and the paragon of Xianhua had admitted it. However, he still hadn't been able to kill him cleanly. This battle didn't have enough credibility. As for breaking through the white shuttle, Luo Feng didn't have such thoughts. The flying palace treasures were the sturdiest treasures of the same level. They specialized in resisting material attacks. A normal flying palace treasure, in terms of sturdiness, was comparable to a high-level armor. A high-level flying palace treasure was comparable to a top-level armor. Like the Sky Wolf leader, he had the Sky Wolf Palace, which was also a high-level flying palace treasure. However, it was considered one of the better ones. According to human values, it was worth 800-900 treasure points. The Sky Wolf leader relied on it to dominate the universe. Even the Primal Chaos City leader and the 9 Underworld leader couldn't break through it. The shuttle was slightly weaker than the Sky Wolf Palace. However, it was still enough to dominate the universe. Most of the universe lords were helpless against it. Against a flying palace treasure, one could usually only rely on soul attacks. And Luo Feng wasn't proficient in soul attacks. HMPH. Su. Luo Feng immediately kept the 9-sea river and became a beam of light and flew away. You want to leave? The white shuttle followed closely. Luo Feng and the white shuttle tore through the skies one after the other, causing the distant foreign race warriors to be dumbfounded. There's actually a flying palace treasure. Sky Hua Knight actually said Luo Feng is a universe lord. Of course he's a universe lord. To be that strong, if he isn't a universe lord, then what is he? Even an elite universe lord lost 10% of his body in one slash. Other than a universe lord, who else could be that strong? One after the other. Sky Hua Knight, you're determined to follow me? Luo Feng looked behind. Right, I'm determined to follow you. You won't be able to escape. The white shuttle said. Luo Feng glanced at the huge white shuttle behind him. He indeed couldn't deal with it. He was clear that the automaton, bug and demon race had been investigating him. Sky Hua Knight would naturally follow him to confirm his coordinates and inform the upper echelon of the demon race. Play big? I'm afraid I'll have to rely on Plan 9. Luo Feng's eyes gleamed with killing intent. Demon Territory, Dream Ancestor Secret Region. Sky Hua Knight left his body within the race. He used his servant's god country to swiftly teleport to the Dream Ancestor Secret Region. After arriving there, his consciousness immediately connected to the virtual space. Like the automaton race, they too created their own virtual space. Even back on Earth back then, with a simple quantum computer, they were able to create a simple virtual space Wargod Palace. To reach a virtual space that covered the entire universe, with all the laws within, was very difficult. However, if it was a small virtual space, just exchanging information was still very simple. The demon race had a virtual space that covered the entire Dream Ancestor Secret Region. Within the demon race virtual space, within a vast mist, a majestic white palace rose and fell. This was where the Dream Ancestor was at. Within the mist, there was a long table with 9 silhouettes. Above each of them was a huge silver white snake. The snake's body extended far into the distance, faintly discernible within the mist. It was incomparably huge. The other 8 silhouettes were of various shapes and sizes. Obviously they were the great beings of the demon race. Teacher. Sky Hua Knight appeared in mid-air. His snow-white fur body bowed respectfully. You said you discovered Luo Feng and that he's a universe lord. The silver-white snake head looked over. Yes. Sky Hua Knight said. Lie. How can the human Luo Feng become a universe lord so quickly? Impossible. Immediately, many of the other 8-seated masters of the universe began to shout. Sky Hua Knight said, this is the truth. I've personally verified it. If it wasn't for me exchanging for the Flying Palace treasure White Needle early on, I'd probably have fallen to him. Impossible. To kill you, he'd have to have the power of a universe lord. How long has he been training? Impossible. The other universe lords were still in disbelief. Sitting in the main seat, Dream Ancestor watched quietly. Sky Hua Knight immediately said, words are useless. I'll show the other universe lords what happened then and everything will be clear. After which, he looked into mid-air. Everything he had experienced, including the scenes from his memories, was simulated once more. Starting from his fight with Xavier Leader and Thousand Shadows. Silence reigned. The universe lords all watched carefully. Trillions of years of experience told them that it was impossible to become a universe lord in such a short period of training. Otherwise, it would be too heaven-defying. The simulation ended. The universe lords were silent for a while. They could all see that when Luo Feng exchanged blows with Sky Hua Knight, the first slash, the difference in strength between the two wasn't huge. However, after Luo Feng's second slash, the power immediately exploded, causing Sky Hua Knight to lose 10% of his body. Just from the images alone, they couldn't see the wonders of that slash. Because Sky Hua Knight didn't understand it, naturally he couldn't replicate it. One slash. Just mimicking 100% of the postures was useless. The true essence was the Dao of the beast god that was activated by the countless mysterious runes of the laws. This was something the memory images couldn't replicate. Luckily I hid in the flying palace, otherwise I would have died. Sky Hua Knight emphasized. Not necessarily. Dream Ancestor said, Luo Feng might not be a universe lord. He was able to fight against Bark Mirror Emperor at undying level. When he was a universe lord, his body should be stronger than yours. With such a strong body, he should have had some special encounters, or even been bestowed with a natural technique. Perhaps he would have obtained an innate secret art that is comparable to the ultimate secret art of the Lord of the Universe. Double quote. The other universe lords nodded. Have you ever seen him control space? Dream Ancestor said. No. Sky Hua Knight shook his head. Just one powerful technique could be a natural technique. Unless he can unleash two techniques, only then would one be his own creation. Dream Ancestor shook her head, and your strength isn't enough, you can't really tell. Only by letting a universe lord fight him, can you clearly determine if he's a universe lord. Double quote. You're following him now? Dream Ancestor said. Yes. Sky Hua Knight said, he can't escape. I'm definitely following him. The silver-white snake head said, I'll contact the automaton and bug race. The three races will work together to eliminate this Luo Feng. Chapter 1133 Swallowed Star. In the dark space, three thoughts pierced through time and space and descended here. It was the three strongest warriors of the universe, the demon, automaton and bug race. The silver-white snake head hovered in space and said, Luo Feng has appeared on the primal planet, and we can confirm he has the strength of a universe lord. I've received the news. The huge oval-shaped black ball silhouette spoke. Your demon clans Xianhua Knight and Luo Feng fought on primal planet number 02933. Xianhua Knight wasn't his match at all, he relied on his flying palace-type treasure to survive. I've received the news too. The silhouette said. Since you all know, that's even better. The silver-white snake head's voice had a formless power. If a weakling heard it, he would naturally feel boundless fear. This is a rare chance. Luo Feng is currently on the primal planet. If we three join forces, we can take the chance to get rid of him. Of course we have to get rid of him, however, I want to confirm, is he a universe lord now? The silhouette's gentle voice resounded. I want to know too. The huge oval black ball silhouette said. Even though they didn't dare believe that one could become a universe lord in such a short time. However, they understood, the evolution of the universe was always unknown, any miracle could happen. The silver-white snake head said, I'm not sure, he could be, he could also not. Of course I hope he's a universe lord. Even the automaton and bug racers too hoped so too, because if Luo Feng wasn't a universe lord, he already had such powerful strength. The moment he broke through, how terrifying would that be? If he broke through, that meant Luo Feng wouldn't be much stronger in the future, naturally the threat would be much smaller. I suspect he has an extremely powerful natural ability, relying on it to heavily injure my disciple. The silver-white snake head said, if that's the case, then he's still a universe lord, naturally we have to get rid of this threat. He could really be a universe lord even if he is, getting rid of him would be a part of humanity's strength. What do your two races think? Just our demon race alone, with the interference of the Great Alliance, would have a hard time killing Luo Feng. If we three join forces, we'll have a much higher chance of killing him. Double quote. The machine race's godfather and the insectoid queen fell silent for a moment. I agree. I agree. One after the other, the oval black sphere and the slim figure spoke at the same time. With our three races joining forces, we are naturally unstoppable. The silvery white snake leader laughed. In my opinion, each race should send out 3 universe lords. If the 3 parties work together, there will be 9 masters of the universe. 9 masters of the universe will arrive at the primitive planet from different vortex passageways and surround it. Even if the Hong Alliance resists, what can they do? Double quote. 9 universe masters. You think too highly of Luo Feng. The bug race and the machine race were somewhat unwilling. In terms of the number of lords of the universe, the machine race and the bug race actually had very few. It was even fewer than the humans and demons. If we want to kill, we have to not give them any chances. Otherwise, if we send too few and let Luo Feng escape, when Luo Feng grows up, humanity will naturally become stronger. You should know, if it wasn't for that lunatic from the human race, our 3 races would have long been suppressed by the human race. Don't look down on humans, their potential is terrifying. I can see from this Luo Feng that the madman from back then. The silver-white snake head said. It can't be. How can that be? Thinking about that madman that had long been destroyed by the human race, the automaton god and the bug queen felt a chill. It was just that because he was too crazy, he destroyed himself. Think about it, how long has Luo Feng been training for? The silver-white snake head said. My bug race alliance will send 3. The silhouette said. My automaton alliance will send 3. The oval black ball silhouette said. The upper echelons of the demon race, bug race and automaton race swiftly came to an agreement, deciding on the plan to kill Luo Feng. With the 9 universe masters as the main force, along with the large amounts of universe knights and universe overlords from the 3 alliances as support, they would kill Luo Feng. And with the other strong powers of the 3 alliances as support, to defend against the Hong Alliance. In the air above the forest of the primal planet 02933, Luo Feng was flying swiftly, following behind him was the white shuttle. Following. Luo Feng glanced behind. The demon race, automaton race and bug race have all received the news long ago. With their efficiency, they've probably already made plans. However, how would you know my trump card? This battle to become famous will definitely be very exciting. Double quote. Hua hua hua. Endless golden waves formed in mid-air, immediately covering a 30 million kilometer area, causing the white shuttle behind to be engulfed by the waves. The strong resistance caused the white shuttle's speed to decrease. 9C River. Cheyenne Hua lowered his head, the blood-red eye under his snow-white fur revealed a look of disdain, trying to escape, dream on. His god energy spread out and searched his surroundings. Rumble. However, the divine power he used to probe was directly blocked off by the barrier. Forbid me from searching? It's useless. I'm in the 9 Desolate River, and you're controlling it. Once you're slightly further away from me, beyond 30 million kilometers, I'll exit the 9 Desolate River and naturally be able to follow you. Supremacy Cheyenne was confident in his victory and was not anxious at all. Time passed. The 9 Desolate River continued to advance rapidly, and Supremacy Cheyenne was also within it. After a while. Why are you constantly maintaining it? You have so much god energy that you don't even know where to use it. Cheyenne sneered, after which he was stunned. Not right. Space domain. Paragon Cheyenne immediately unleashed his law domain. Rumble. Clashing with the law domain within the 9C, the 2 domains clashed constantly. This made Cheyenne feel that something was wrong, Why did Luo Feng keep stopping him, not allowing him to search clearly? There had to be a problem. Ha ha ha, Xian Hua, you're really stupid. A powerful laugh resounded. Simultaneously the golden river disappeared. In mid-air, there was a majestic golden horned beast with 6 sharp horns floating in mid-air. Within the white shuttle, a snow-white furred head appeared, looking around and raging. Where's he? Where's Luo Feng? He left a long time ago. The golden horned beast laughed. Damn golden horned beast, you, how do you control the 9-sea river? Xian Hua was both anxious and raging. Luo Feng and I are life and death friends. We've been exploring the primal star together, only, I've been hiding within his world ring. Before, when he was flying in front, you were following behind. He's long since secretly placed the 9-sea river into his world ring, withdrawing his life imprint and letting me use it temporarily. The golden horned beast laughed in mid-air. The 9-sea river's sudden appearance, that's because I'm controlling it. Luo Feng has long snuck away, by now, he's long gone. Double quote. Bastard. Xian Hua gritted his teeth. He finally remembered, back then Luo Feng earned the title of the pinnacle of the universe overlord. It was because he wantonly slaughtered the foreign warriors. Many of them said it was a black beast that killed him, others said it was the black golden horned beast that killed him. I actually forgot, he still had a golden horned beast friend. Xian Hua raged within. Haha, if you want to chase, hurry up and chase. Maybe you can even catch up to Luo Feng. The golden horned beast laughed, casually flapping its wings and flying away. Xian Hua cursed within. He was actually tricked by such a method, he was too careless. Teacher, Luo Feng has escaped, I lost him. Within the Demon Dream Ancestor's secret region's virtual space, Xian Hua could only report to the Dream Ancestor Demon. Lost him. This infuriated the 3 races who had just come up with the plan, but there was nothing they could do about it. They immediately modified the plan and ordered the experts of the Fey Race Alliance, the Insectoid Race Alliance, and the Mech Race Alliance to conduct a large-scale search on primitive planet number 02933. They also sent a total of 9 Universe Lords to primitive planet number 02933. Chase me. Luo Feng flew in mid-air, intentionally heading towards the same spot as the golden horned beast, preparing to meet up. Xian Hua underestimates me too much, just the first method was enough to trick him. Luo Feng smiled. Just as Luo Feng was smiling happily. Rumble. The land and skies went silent. An endless pressure immediately enveloped the entire planet. The 3 races had a total of 9 Universe Lords. The first Universe Lord had descended on this planet. The entire planet's warriors from the various powers all went silent. All of them were filled with fear and caution. They understood the Universe Lord had descended. Luo Feng, you have to die. The voice was low and rumbling like the ground itself, resounding around Luo Feng. I wonder which Universe Lord it is. Luo Feng smiled. Bud Clan Alliance, Banfu leader. The voice resounded around Luo Feng. Luo Feng laughed softly. You want to kill me, just you. Ha ha ha. Luo Feng's laughter got louder and louder, not caring about the space around him at all. Luo Feng continued to fly in mid-air, however he didn't intentionally meet up with the golden horned beast. These are Luo Feng's coordinates. Surround him. Surround him. The Demon Race, Bug Race, and Mech Race Alliance quickly sent messages and began to arrange for a large number of universe supremacies to head towards the coordinates. Even the experts of the 3 Great Races Alliance on other primitive planets quickly rushed over. This time, it was the first time that the 3 Great Races Alliance had gathered together for a big operation. The Great Alliance naturally received the news at the first moment, swiftly making arrangements. Rumble. After the Banfu leader descended on planet number 02933, about half an hour later, Another universe lord descended. The moment they descended, they began to fight for control of space and time, causing the entire space of the planet to be in chaos, affecting each other, causing both sides to lose control of space and time. It's our Great Alliance's universe lord. Luo Feng immediately guessed. At this time, in the virtual universe, Luo Feng received his teacher Primal Chaos City Leader's mail. Luo Feng, the dragon leader has already descended on your planet. This time, the devil race, the machinery race, and the insect race are doing their best to deal with you. The Hong Alliance can only try our best to interfere and disrupt their plans. Even if teacher arrives, he will be restrained by the three races. It is said that you have the combat strength of a lord of the universe. Do you have any confidence in dodging this? If the situation gets too troublesome, you'd rather self-destruct, understand? Double quote. The Great Alliance wasn't worried. Because they had long given Luo Feng the soul treasure afterimage, from their point of view, with Luo Feng's talent in cloning, he would at most lose a few treasures. Teacher, your disciple naturally has confidence. Luo Feng immediately replied. It's getting more and more exciting, the curtains have already been drawn, let's begin. I wonder how this battle that will make me famous will turn out. Luo Feng's smile widened. Chapter 1134 Swallowed Star. In mid-air a few 100 million km away from Luo Feng, there were 3 universe knights from the Demon Alliance flying. Even though they weren't true demons, the moment Demon Ancestor Dream gave the order, they naturally obeyed. We shouldn't be far from that human Luo Feng. A short man with a blood-red beard said, according to the Demon Alliance's detailed information, we can discover that human at any time. Jia, Boya, we definitely can't be careless now, we have to observe carefully. The moment we discover him, we have to follow him. When that happens, the rewards from the Demon Alliance, Bud Alliance and Automaton Alliance won't be small. We understand. The other 2 short men with big beards said. The 3 of them came from a strong race, of course they were only a part of the Demon Alliance. Big brother, our strength is far from that Luo Feng. The moment we meet him and accidentally enter his Nine-Meing River region, we'll be dead. The black-bearded short man said. Hence we have to be careful and observe. Don't be stupid and get so close to him without knowing. We have to maintain a distance of at least 30 million kilometers from the ground. And from high up in the sky, it's easy to see over 100 million kilometers. And the information is very clear, there aren't many other warriors in the entire area. As long as it's not one from the reports, then it could very well be that human Luo Feng. Double quote. HM. Understood. The 3-clan alliance was extremely cautious. When the Banfu leader descended earlier, he instantly controlled the space of the primal star. Naturally, he was very familiar with all the warriors on the primal star. He also memorized the information of all the warriors in the area around Luo Feng's location. The 3-clan alliance then passed the information to every member of the alliance who carried out the orders. As long as it wasn't one from the reports, then it could very well be Luo Feng in disguise. Meeting a stranger. Or a lone warrior from another race that had to be identified. They would rather kill by mistake than let him go. After all, even if it was by mistake, they would at most kill a few. In this 3-clan alliance, killing a few wasn't much. Anyway, they definitely couldn't let Luo Feng escape. Who? 3 beams of light tore through the sky. Look. The 3 bearded short men fiercely slowed down, looking from afar. With a glance they could see the silver-armored, silver-winged, black-haired man in mid-air. Luo Feng didn't disguise himself like the information was worried about, he just openly revealed himself. It's human Luo Feng. We actually found Luo Feng. It really is him. The 3 big-bearded short brute looked at each other with a bit of excitement and nervousness. Even though they guessed that they would bump into each other, they didn't think that they would actually bump into each other. After all, Luo Feng is constantly changing his position. Genia, Boya, this is a great opportunity. You must seize it. The blood-red bearded man hurriedly sent a voice transmission. Let's be careful and stay far away from him. He won't be able to do anything to us. Even if we accidentally fall into the Nine Rampart River and are killed by him, the Tree Race Alliance will eventually reverse space-time to revive us and compensate us. Yes. The other two bearded men also nodded. This time, there was a precise promise in the Alliance's command. If they died, they would definitely reverse time and space. As for the treasures that they had previously possessed, they would first be registered. Once they died, these treasures would also be returned. And the greater the contribution, the greater the final reward. It was because of this series of orders and promises that made the warriors of the Tree Race Alliance put in so much effort. Watch him, maintain a 50 million kilometer distance from him. The three of us will split into 3 directions. We definitely can't let him escape. We will be the first to discover him. This time, we have to earn a lot from this and gain a huge contribution. I've already begun reporting the news. The blood-red bearded man ordered. His other 2 warriors nodded and flew apart, swiftly closing in on Luo Feng. The embodiments of the blood-red bearded man's race's venerable clones were currently gathered in a small secret realm within their race. There was also a virtual space that enveloped this small secret realm, allowing these embodiments to rapidly transmit information to the upper echelons of the race. And from the upper echelons to the upper echelons of the Demon Alliance. We've already confirmed Luo Feng's coordinates. There are 3 Buhan race knights watching him. The other knights are immediately heading over. The moment the Demon, Automaton and Bug Race Alliance received the news, they immediately began to transmit it to the various races of the Alliance. These races in turn transmitted it to every single warrior rushing over. For a time, the large number of universe supremacies, universe overlords, and even universe lords of the 3 races alliance that had participated in this operation were rapidly approaching the newly provided coordinates. Rumble. The golden waves surged and instantly covered a radius of 30 million kilometers. However, the 3 universe venerables of the Buhan race maintained a sufficient distance from them. Luo Feng stood on the waves and gazed into the distance. He shouted coldly, "Leave quickly and I'll spare your lives." Haha, human Luo Feng, what are you talking about? Why would we need your mercy? We are a total of 10 million kilometers away from Nine Reed River. What can you do to us? Double quote. You are strong. However, we are tens of millions of km away. Why would we be afraid of you? Human Luo Feng, your doomsday has arrived. Right now all the warriors of our 3 race alliance are rushing towards you. No matter how you disguise yourself, it's useless. You definitely won't be able to escape our encirclement. I advise you not to flee. It's useless. Just give up. The 3 bearded knights laughed loudly. In the distance in mid-air, they seemed very confident. Luo Feng frowned as he watched. Being watched meant that his location would be exposed. Hence, the 3 race alliance could easily find out his location. This wasn't good for his plan. Looks like I can only use that move. I have to reveal some of it. Luo Feng thought. Luo Feng stood in place and looked at the distant 3 alien knights. His gaze was filled with pity. I originally didn't want to kill you 3. However, since you've been following me, don't blame me. Luo Feng stood there without moving. He just looked at the 3. This made the 3 bearded knights curious. Why didn't Luo Feng flee? Did he give up because he felt there was no hope? Who cares? If he doesn't flee, we can relax. Just as the 3 bearded knights were conversing, suddenly, Hua. At the edge of the golden wave, a silhouette suddenly flickered. Following which, it vanished and flashed again about 10,000 kilometers away. Shua. 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 Sure. In an instant, over 100 silhouettes flickered and rapidly approached the three universe venerables, causing them to jump in fright. Teleportation? There's no way to teleport on the primal planet. No one can do it. Even the universe lords can't do it. Yes, natural ability, it must be a natural ability. Even the absolute warriors can't do it. For him to be able to do it, it must be a natural ability. Double quote. The three bearded knights panicked and split up to flee. However, the Moshe clansman used his extreme speed to unleash his natural ability domain. With his god energy purity, consciousness and willpower, he could teleport hundreds of times in a second, reaching a terrifying speed of millions of km per second. In just 3 seconds, the Moshe clansman had already reached the side of a short black-bearded man. His blade had already become a glaring gold light. The gold light was sharp and cold. Extremely fast. Ah! The black-bearded man waved the war hammer in his hand and a shield in his hand, attempting to block. Ping! Even though the Moshe clansman's body was weaker than the golden horned beast's body and the earth body, it was still a universe knight that was 100 times stronger. It was definitely comparable to the blurry light lord, Zhongzhan knight and other universe tyrants. Moreover, he had used the ultimate secret technique of the Lord of the Universe, Golden Light. One could say that the Moshe clansman was as strong as the golden horned beast clone and his earth body before he broke through to the realm of the universe and killed the Blur Light Lord and the Knight. 1 / rumble. The black-bearded man's body trembled and was immediately destroyed. No. How is this possible? The other two fleeing knights were completely terrified. Just 1 / and they were destroyed. The blood-red bearded man began to report. He directly simulated the scene and said, he can use a technique similar to teleportation. It should be a special technique of the Moshe clansman and a few other unique life forms. And it's extremely strong. 1 / can destroy a universe high-level knight. Double quote. Sure. 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 The Moshe clansman flickered. In just 2 seconds, he killed another knight. 4 seconds later, the last universe venerable was killed. The battle was over. Close to 10 seconds later, 3 knights had fallen. None of them could resist at all. What a joke. The Moshe clansman's current strength definitely wasn't any weaker than Purple Rain Knight. The earth body dared to compete with the universe lords. The Moshe clansman too dared to compete with the world tree. Even the blurry light lord who was wearing a normal treasure armor was killed in 1 / These high-level knights without treasures, how could they escape from Luo Feng? Luo Feng kept his spoils of war. The Nine-Meing River too vanished. 3-race alliance, Luo Feng's eyes gleamed coldly. The 3-clan alliance naturally received the report from the 3 Buhan clan knights before they died, especially with the footage. Along with Luo Feng's black flame-spewing godly body from his previous missions, it made the Demon Clan, Automaton Clan and Bud Clan deduce that Luo Feng had a natural talent cloning technique. That clone should be the Moshe clansman. I can use the innate secret technique domain, and I have the innate secret technique duplication, which allows me to disguise as many identities. However, the Moshe race was good at hiding, escaping and assassinating. Their direct combat strength was not strong to begin with. To kill a high-level universe venerable with 1 blade? Could it be that he has really stepped into the level of the Lord of the Universe? This shocked the higher-ups of the Tree Race Alliance. Chapter 1135 Swallowed Star. On the 02933 planet, the Demon Alliance, Automaton Alliance and Bud Clan Alliance, these 3 superpowers allied to kill Luo Feng. With such a huge commotion, naturally it couldn't be hidden from the other powers. Like the North Border Alliance and 9 Regions Alliance, they all temporarily left the Storm Source region. At this time, the The Bud Clan Alliance had a total of 2,102 knights on this planet. The Automaton Alliance had a total of 1,960 knights. The Demon Alliance itself had a lot of people, hence they had a total of 5,230 knights here. Their total number exceeded 9,000. And this was just the current number. At this time, there were still many knights rushing over from the other 10,081 planets, causing the number to continue to increase. At least right now, at least 1/5 of the knights from the 10,081 planets were gathered here. Suspected to have the strength of a master of the universe. There's a Moshe clansman? Double quote. Hence anyone not from the three-race alliance in the danger zone will be killed? An automaton warrior flying in mid-air sneered and shook his head. What a joke. For this Luo Feng, they actually made such a huge commotion. However, that's right, there aren't many non-three-race alliance members left in the danger zone. The danger zone referred to Luo Feng as the center, with a radius of 5 billion kilometers. The number of knights from the three-race alliance in the danger zone was gradually increasing. One had to know that every warrior could see over 100 million km away. Hence, the chances of Luo Feng being discovered greatly increased. Occasionally, he would be discovered. The three-race alliance, from the start of the hunt till now, who knows how many knights have fallen. Luckily the upper echelon of the three-race alliance made a promise that if they died, they would definitely reverse time and space and return the registered treasures. Otherwise, who would be willing to risk their lives? Without so many knights, this hunt wouldn't even be possible. The automaton warrior Qian Fan Knight flew leisurely in the sky. He was an overlord-level being, and he had always been alone on the planet. Leisurely flying, however, his eyes were constantly observing. He observed all the plants, lakes, and other traces in his surroundings. With the speed of his consciousness's calculation, he could naturally find anything suspicious. One had to know that the flora and fauna of the planet were all one, even if they were destroyed, they could swiftly recover. If the Moshe clansmen turned into a rock and hid there carefully sensing it, one would realize that this rock didn't fit in with the planet. After flying for a while, Qian Fan Knight's eyes gleamed. He looked at the distant silver light over 100 million km away. That silver light was the silver-armored, silver-winged, black-haired man. Human Luo Feng. The knight immediately closed in, preparing to maintain a close distance with Luo Feng. After all, the distance between them was too great. The moment Luo Feng charged into the forest or the wild grass, it would be hard for him to see him clearly. I've discovered Luo Feng. His latest coordinates are Qian Fan Knight immediately reported to his clan. Immediately. The command center of the three-clan alliance had received Luo Feng's newest coordinates, adding another point to his movement map. They immediately sent orders for the over 9,000 universe venerables to head towards the latest coordinates. Half a minute later. Hua. A sharp and ice-cold golden saber light flashed past. Although Venerable Hidden Sail tried his best to resist, he was like an ant in front of a high-speed truck. Boom! The ice-cold saber brought with it a bone-piercing chill as it slashed his armor. The terrifying impact instantly reached the limit of a high-grade supreme treasure armor. When his close to 10 meters tall body trembled and was completely destroyed. Even with my high-level armor, I can't even block a single blade from the Moshe clansman? Is he really a universe lord? Luckily, I've placed my most important treasure back in my god country. Qian Fan Knight felt his body crumble. A thought flashed through his mind and he fell into endless darkness. The Moshe clansman kept the treasure in mid-air and said softly, Qian Fan Knight's most famous treasure, the hidden sail wings, is actually not with him. Killing the knight, he only received a high-level armor and a normal treasure weapon as well as the world ring. There was no legendary hidden sail wings. Even so, I still earned quite a bit. Killing a universe lord is more profitable than killing 10 universe high-level knights. Luo Feng stood on the surface of the Nine-Meing River, waiting for the Moshe clansmen to fly over. With a thought, he kept the Moshe clansmen into his world ring, simultaneously retrieving the Blood Shadow Blade the Moshe clansmen used before. The Blood Shadow Blade was a top-level treasure. Its power was extremely strong. Luo Feng had to exchange for this Blood Shadow Blade with many of his treasures and treasures from the Blood Cloud Palace's treasure room to his race. Back then Luo Feng needed 2 blades to kill Zhong's Han Knight who was wearing a high-level armor. This Qian Fan Knight too was wearing a high-level armor, and his body was close to 10 meters tall. It was even larger. If the Moshe clansmen used the Bohi blade, it would probably take tens to hundreds of blades. However, with the Blood Shadow Blade's power, it caused the high-level armor's defense to drop drastically. Only then could it be killed in 1 blade. This is just a top-level treasure. Luo Feng thought. If it was a top-level treasure or an absolute treasure, just how powerful would it be? Generally speaking, only the lords of the universe would be able to use such a treasure. Even if the knights had them, normally only the pinnacle of the universe lords would have 1 or 2. The 16th universe lord, 1st universe lord. Luo Feng said softly. Keeping the Nine-Meing River, he continued to swiftly flee. While fleeing, his earth body would occasionally fly, and the Moshe clansman would use his natural ability domain to swiftly change his position, increasing the difficulty of the 3 race alliances' encirclement. And any knight he met, he showed no mercy, killing them all and taking the spoils of war. Luo Feng's kill count of the 3 clan alliances' knights has already reached 115, and 3 universe overlords. Damn punk. Let him be proud and go crazy. Right now the danger zone is shrinking, and the chances of finding him has greatly increased. And Ban Fu leader is also rushing over with his fastest speed. Before long, he'll arrive. His escape area is shrinking, let him go crazy for the last time. The 10 upper echelon of the command center of the 3 clan alliance were all enraged. Luo Feng was simply too vicious, and his killing efficiency was too high. One had to know, the revival of these knights still depended on the universe lords. The 3 race alliances' knight count on this planet had already exceeded 10,000, and many of them had entered the danger zone, causing the 3 race alliances' knight count to increase greatly. Naturally, it was getting harder for Luo Feng to hide, his disguise was useless. Becoming a mountain rock? It was completely different from the primal planet, he could completely sense and discover them. Becoming another alien knight? Killing them all. Becoming a dead member of the 3 race alliance. One had to know that the high-level knights moved in groups, hence they could only disguise themselves as the universe lords. However, how many had Luo Feng killed so far? And the 3 race alliance already knew that those few had been killed by Luo Feng. Naturally they would be easily seen through. As for the living 3 race alliances' universe lords, Luo Feng hadn't seen them personally, and had no way of replicating their energy. And the coordinates of the universe lords were always recorded by the command center, Luo Feng would be easily seen through. Anyway, there was nowhere to run. After flying in another direction, he would meet the 3 race alliances' knights, and after killing them, he would quickly meet another one. The frequency of them discovering me is getting higher and higher. These knights maintain a huge distance from each other, making it hard for my Moshe clansmen to chase after them. I met 4 before, and only killed 3, the last one escaped. Luo Feng's eyes glowed red. However, since you guys are so crazy and don't give me any leeway, then come on, kill. The more he killed, the more it triggered the bloodthirsty killing intent in his bones. 160, 180, 200. 240, 280, 320. Luo Feng had gone completely crazy. As the frequency of him meeting the knights increased, Luo Feng's killing speed of the three-race alliance grew faster and faster. Every time he killed, he would definitely take all the spoils of war. This made the upper echelon of the three-race alliance even more furious. Human Luo Feng, after we kill you, you'll have to return everything you took. Ban Fu, how much longer until we reach Luo Feng? He's been changing his location, however, it won't be long, let him struggle a little longer. Ban Fu leader was rushing towards Luo Feng with his fastest speed. He was the universe lord closest to Luo Feng. Right now on the entire primal planet, there were already 4 universe lords from the three-race alliance that had descended. Only because of the dragon leader's interference, they couldn't control the space in a large area. In the sky above the endless ocean of the primal planet, a huge whirlpool pathway floated in mid-air. Hua. An incomparably majestic silhouette that was over 1,000,000 km tall stepped out of the pathway and appeared in mid-air. The huge mountain range body had a total of 8 heaven pillar-like claws, along with 4 thick long arms, and in the center of the entire body was a huge eye. He was the incomparably powerful being that the Demon Alliance spent countless benefits to recruit into the Demon Alliance, the Mountain Range Master. The Mountain Range Master was a special life form that was born when the universe was born. Even though a special life form was powerful, a special life form that could train to the universe lord level, that was the true power. Naturally the large powers all fought to invite him, and when he was still at the universe lord level, he finally joined the Demon Alliance. Ha 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 ha. The Mountain Range Master let out a heaven-shaking laugh. The endless ocean water began to tremble. Rumble. The endless black ocean water immediately engulfed the oceans, forests, deserts, swamps, wastelands. In an instant, it had completely engulfed the entire primal planet. It caused the entire primal planet to be engulfed in the Black Ocean. The Black Ocean's terrifying binding energy was unbelievable. All the warriors, including Luo Feng, were engulfed. Chapter 1136 Swallowed Star. His body was as burly as a mountain, and a huge dragon tail extended from the end of his spine. He raised his head and looked at the endless Black Sea around him. As he burned his divine power, the Black Sea was suppressed and couldn't get close to him. Fu Shanhei. Dragon Emperor said softly, Tong Ling Master is here too. Dragon Emperor's eyes were filled with worry. They actually sent Tong Ling Master. That punk is extremely difficult to deal with. Bug, demon and automaton, all the universe lords sent by the 3 alliances are not normal. They're not normal universe lords. Looks like they're really going all out to deal with Luo Feng. Our great alliance has no choice now. Even if we go all out, even if the creator of the huge axe arrives, the 3 alliances can still send one of the strongest warriors to deal with him. When that time comes, they'll probably be even more fearless. Dragon Emperor sighed within. One-on-one, the Great Alliance wasn't afraid of any of the 3 alliances. However, now that the 3 alliances had joined forces, all the Hong Alliance could do was interfere and restrict them. If you want to blame someone, blame Luo Feng for rising up too quickly, scaring the 3 alliances, causing the 3 alliances that have always been competing to kill Luo Feng to come to an agreement. Dragon Emperor shook his head, looking at the distant danger zone. Luo Feng, you can only rely on yourself. What the Great Alliance can do is make sure your situation isn't too bad. No one knew Luo Feng's current situation, be it the 3 alliance or the Great Alliance, no one knew. Ha ha ha. To force me, to trap me, to make me an enemy, to mess with me, I'll kill them all. Those who block me, I'll kill them too. No one will be able to escape. Luo Feng looked calm on the surface, but his eyes were filled with bloodlust. Actually, when he was growing up as a child on Earth, because of the spiritual force crystal in his brain, Luo Feng often had headaches, causing him to have a sense of insanity in his bones. Back then, when he was forced by leeway to the point where blood splattered 5 steps away. This madness was fine at first, until he took over the body of the golden horned beast. The golden horned beast's nature was cold and bloodthirsty. The coldness in its bloodline naturally affected Luo Feng, causing his tendencies to get stronger and stronger. However, his willpower was extremely strong, hence he controlled it well. After becoming an undying, it had been a long time since he had been this reckless. Even though he had comprehended the heart of the beast god, he had only entered that state while he was in deep slumber. He had not truly begun to go on a killing spree. This was the first time after comprehending the heart of the beast god that he had been so crazy and his killing frequency was so high. At first, killing the first 100 venerables was considered slow, but the further he went, the faster his killing speed became. 100, 200, 400, 800. Luo Feng had already gone mad from the killing. He had completely entered the heart of the beast god state. Any life that appeared in his field of vision would be quickly determined as a target to be killed. A frenzied massacre. It was a killing frenzy. Super existences fell one after another. Not a single one of them could resist him. And in front of the Moshe clansman's innate ability domain, it made it hard for the universe paragons to escape. Boom. The endless black seawater instantly drowned the endless wasteland and the sky. The powerful binding force was simply terrifying, causing Luo Feng to immediately wake up from his state of slaughter. He's awake. Luo Feng gazed at the endless seawater. Although it was called black seawater, it was actually a huge region formed from a high-density special energy. It was just that it looked like water from the outside. Like the 9 Snow River and many other domain treasures, there were many that looked like water. What powerful binding force! Its power is terrifying. It's just that it's always hidden and not unleashed. The moment it unleashes its power, it's 10 to 100 times stronger than my Moshe clansman's full-strength blade. This should be comparable to Teacher's 1000 Treasure River. If I'm not wrong, this should be the Demon Alliance's Tongling leader's Fushan Ocean. Luo Feng thought. Before this mission, he had naturally gathered information. His authority in the virtual universe was that of an elite universe lord. He could indeed view the Bud clan, demon and automaton races' information on the universe lords. With just one look. It also allowed Luo Feng to understand more about the universe lords, and understand how terrifying they were. However, Luo Feng still had full confidence in this battle that would make him famous. Human Luo Feng. A powerful voice resounded around Luo Feng. Are you the Tongling leader of the Demon Alliance? Luo Feng smiled. You can actually laugh. Ha ha ha, you really have guts. I'll tell you beforehand, the Banfu leader will be arriving soon. The powerful voice said. Luo Feng smiled. He turned and chose a direction to continue flying, breaking through the heavy black water, his speed soaring. You still dare to fly in my Fushan Ocean? The majestic voice was filled with rage. Immediately, the black sea water that was hiding its power suddenly exploded. Almost like water droplets from a neutron star formed waves that smashed into Luo Feng's body. However, Luo Feng continued to fly, unfazed by the attacks. You were still worried that my Fushan Ocean's full power would kill you. Looks like you indeed have the ability to be proud. Immediately the black water's power continued to rise. Even an elite universe lord wouldn't be able to last long under the full power of the Fushan Ocean. However, Luo Feng easily broke through the heavy water and flew into the distance. This made the Tongling leader on the other side of the primal planet extremely shocked. Don't tell me, this Luo Feng is really a universe lord. I have the pinnacle of treasures, the Calamity Armor. It can weaken all attacks to 1/100,000th of its power. My god body is a full 90,000 kilometers tall. Just the defense alone, even a universe lord pinnacle would have to expend a lot of effort to kill me. Just relying on the domain treasures. They can't even shake me? Luo Feng was very clear of his own capabilities. Treasure's armors, from normal to high level to the pinnacle, would normally weaken attacks to 1/10,000%. The only difference was the limit. Only the pinnacle treasures that were extremely rare could weaken attacks to 1/100,000%. The Calamity armor, however, was weakened to 1/100,000%. Obviously it was one of the top of the pinnacle treasures. And its limit was extremely high. At least the attacks of the Universe Lords would find it hard to reach the limit of the Calamity armor. Meaning, normally when fighting against a Universe Lord, the Calamity armor could weaken the attacks to 1/100,000%. Flame Emperor had the Calamity armor to protect his body and his original soul to protect his soul. He had nothing to fear. Incomparably arrogant. Of course, Mountain Guest had a powerful treasure. It wasn't something he could defend against. Luo Feng can easily block my floating mountain ocean attack. He can even block my full power attack. This news was quickly relayed back to the Tree Race Alliance's command center by Lord Tongling, causing all the Universe Lords there to jump in shock. There were two possibilities. 1. Luo Feng had broken through to the Universe Lord level, his body was extremely strong. 2. Luo Feng had an extremely heaven-defying protective treasure. Has Luo Feng really become a Universe Lord? HMPH, maybe he's lucky enough to acquire a powerful treasure. Treasures aren't that easy to acquire. A true absolute treasure, every one of them has its own history. It's not something that can be acquired with luck, unless it's bestowed by the upper echelons. Many of the Universe Lords of humanity all use the pinnacle armors. How did Luo Feng acquire one? Very soon, we'll know after the battle between Ban Fu leader and him. The Bug Clan, Automaton Clan and Demon Clan, the three alliances gradually discovered Luo Feng's unfathomable abilities. There were already some who suspected that Luo Feng had truly become a Universe Lord. Of course there were many who didn't believe it. Luo Feng broke through the heavy black ocean and wantonly swam about. Within one of his world rings. The Moshe clansman was within. It's so satisfying killing. Killing to the point of insanity. Consecutively killing over 800 knights made Luo Feng feel an unprecedented joy. And he had a strong desire to create his own techniques. Within him was an extremely intense killing intent that was ready to explode. He wanted to infuse this into his blade technique. When he unleashed the golden light, he felt that it was powerful enough, however, it wasn't crazy enough. Hua hua. The Moshe clansman looked in mid-air. Countless amounts of God energy were activated and complicated engravings began to appear. Luo Feng was currently filled with that urge. No, it's not this feeling. No. Luo Feng was very clear, he could very logically rely on his solid foundations to create a Universe Lord level technique. But if he wanted to create the Lord of the Universe's mystic art, he needed inspiration and feeling. It was just like when he had just comprehended the heart of the beast god and naturally created the golden light. Not right. Right, it's like this. Luo Feng looked at the huge engravings in mid-air. Under his consciousness control, the huge engravings became even more complicated and intricate. That feeling of exhilaration grew stronger and stronger. The killing intent in his chest was completely infused within, almost as though he had returned to that endless killing state. Finally, the threads of the mysterious patterns were connected. Rumble in the sky, the enormous and complete mysterious pattern diagram floated there, emitting a boundless pressure. It faintly carried a bloody killing intent. It's done. Luo Feng's eyes gleamed. With a thought, he pointed in mid-air and swiftly formed another huge engravings. It was the golden light engravings. Two engravings, one on the left and one on the right, floating in mid-air. Both of them exuded boundless might, and it could be said that they were on par with each other. The left was filled with endless killing intent and the right was filled with endless coldness. I've finally created the second universe lord's ultimate technique. Luo Feng smiled. After a long time, his origin law comprehension had already begun to study the beast god level 6. Only because of this crazy encirclement and slaughter, under the endless pressure and anticipation of the battle with the universe lord. He created this form in his slaughter mental state. This form will be called Bloodlight. Luo Feng immediately decided on the name. Endless black ocean water enveloped the land and skies. In the distance a majestic silhouette broke through space and approached from a diagonal direction. Luo Feng. A voice resounded throughout the land and skies. Luo Feng turned and looked into the distance. He knew. The Banfu leader had arrived. Chapter 1137 Swallowed Star. Master Banfu, his skin was pure white, with glaring golden hair. His upper body was like a human's, his lower body was like a reptile's. His gaze was like the sun making one feel warm, his smile was like Mother Earth making one feel warm, making one unknowingly immersed in such a beautiful feeling. He's the human Luo Feng that even the three great clans want to kill. Master Banfu observed the distant human youth, dressed in silver armor and wings. Even under the pressure of the floating mountain ocean's endless water, he was still unaffected. He still remembered the orders the Bud Queen gave him before she came. Banfu, the main reason for killing Luo Feng is because of you. You are the absolute pinnacle in terms of hypnotism techniques among the Bud Clan Alliance, Demon Alliance and Automaton Alliance. This Luo Feng's rise is too fast, his growth is too shocking. If we allow him to continue growing, he will become a huge threat to our Bud Clan Alliance. If he were to hide in the primal universe, we would have no way of dealing with him. Luckily he has appeared on Primal Star. The Bud Clan, Demon Clan and Automaton Clan, how could they not know? The moment Luo Feng self-destructed, all their efforts would be for naught, at most they would get some treasures. However, even if there was a possibility of it being for naught, they still had to work hard. Because it was still a chance. If Luo Feng were to hide in the primal universe, then the three great clans wouldn't even have the chance to get rid of him. Right now, Luo Feng has appeared on Primal Star, it was already a rare opportunity, they had to grab it. This Luo Feng, rising so quickly, he must be extremely confident within. He can't possibly self-destruct without even fighting. If that's the case, why would he enter Primal Star? We have to make use of his pride, his confidence. Deal with him. Remember. The first goal is to control him with your soul. As long as you can control him, then this human genius will be gone, he can even be used by our Bud Clan Alliance. This will be the greatest success. If you can't do it, then we'll use our souls to kill him, causing his many bodies to perish. For a human to be this strong and grow so quickly, he must have had some extremely heaven-defying special encounters, and some special encounters, the moment one revives in time and space, he won't be able to have them again. The Bud Clan Empress was very clear on the mysteries of the universe. Some of the special encounters in the universe were indeed like that. Like the 9 manuals memories, only one person could receive them. The moment one dies, even if one revives in time and space, one wouldn't be able to bring back the 9 manuals memories. Like universe lords, the moment they die, they would die forever, unable to revive. Some extremely heaven-defying special encounters too. The moment one dies, even time and space wouldn't be able to bring them back. Luo Feng. Luo Feng, Luo Feng is, Luo Feng. If we can't do that, then this operation will be a failure. That's our third objective, which is to destroy this clone of his and bring back all of his treasures. Luo Moon, King Luo Feng King God, and Luo Dragon Luo King. Luo. In the virtual space that enveloped the monster race's dream ancestor mystic realm. Demon Clan. Luo Luo Ban. Long and Demon. The silvery white snake head was in the main seat. The entire demon race was divided into two major factions, Demon Ancestor Dreams faction and Demon Ancestors Hens faction. Usually, those who gathered here belonged to Demon Ancestor Dreams faction. Usually, those gathered here were all Demon Clan members. Today, there was an additional Tong Mountain Lord. Master Ban Fu has already met with Luo Feng. Tong Mountain Lord said. We await the good news from Master Ban Fu. The huge silver-white snake head spoke. Many universe lords nodded. A threat had to be eradicated as soon as possible. One primal chaos city leader had brought so much trouble to humanity's enemies. Many things the creator of the huge axe didn't even need to show up, the primal chaos city leader would solve them. Another primal chaos city leader? That was even more terrifying than 3 or 4 universe lords. Master Ban Fu looked at the distant Luo Feng and laughed. His voice was low, almost like the earth itself was shaking. You can actually instantly break free of my influence, your willpower seems strong. Compared to Master Ban Fu, there's still a gap. Luo Feng stood in the distance. You're quite modest. In just a short period of time, over 800 universe supremacies from the 3 great alliances have fallen at your hands. Your methods have amazed me. However, with such strength, why do you need to slaughter those weaklings? Said Master of Ban Fu, seemingly in no hurry to attack at all. Luo Feng shook his head. As long as they don't mess with me, I don't mind showing my mercy. However, all of them mess with me, they deserve to die. Haha, they deserve to die. Master Ban Fu laughed. That makes sense. Luo Feng was stunned, looking shocked at this Master Ban Fu. Luo Feng, do you know which side I belong to? Master Ban Fu smiled. Bud Clan Alliance. Luo Feng said directly. He too was on guard, wondering what this Master Ban Fu was up to. Wrong, I belong to the Northern Border Alliance. Master Ban Fu shook his head. I've long secretly left the Bud Clan Alliance and joined the Northern Border Alliance. Today, my true reason for coming here is to invite you to bring your home planet's human bloodline to join the Northern Border Alliance. I know Earth is a mysterious planet, nurturing the human bloodline, and the human race has taken over your home. As long as you're willing, the Northern Border Alliance is willing to help you take back Earth. Saying that, Master Ban Fu stopped. He looked silently at the distant Luo Feng. At this time Luo Feng's gaze was gradually dimming. However, in a moment. Get out. Luo Feng gritted his teeth and roared. Rumble. The formless god energy actually caused the surrounding black ocean water to tremble. Good. 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 Respect. Luo Feng stared at Master Ban Fu, gritting his teeth and laughing coldly. Indeed worthy of being Ban Fu Master, proficient in illusion attacks. Conversing with me, he actually led me into the illusion unknowingly. I've finally witnessed the pinnacle of the universe lord's illusionary techniques. That fast, even against a true universe lord, they'd normally be affected by me for a moment. He's even faster than some universe lords. This is troublesome. Master Ban Fu was shocked within. He had just entered and led Luo Feng into the illusion when Luo Feng detected him and swiftly broke through the illusion, repelling his god energy. Respect. Luo Feng grabbed the blood shadow blade on his back and immediately pulled it out, staring at Ban Fu Master. Ban Fu Master, I'll let you see what I'm capable of. Rumble. Luo Feng immediately moved, extremely fast. However, the surrounding black ocean water was incomparably turbulent, suppressing Luo Feng. Even with the Wu-slaying wings, his speed was still greatly restricted. Ban Fu Master however retreated as fast as lightning. When Luo Feng was suppressed by the floating mountain ocean domain, Ban Fu Master was able to receive help. Empress, soul control failed. Ban Fu Master immediately reported, his willpower and consciousness are extremely strong and sturdy, comparable to a normal universe lord. I suspect he still has a soul-type treasure. Double quote. As he reported, Ban Fu Master understood he couldn't achieve his first goal. Then he could only rely on his second goal. Die. The master of Ban Fu looked at Luo Feng from afar. His eyes were incomparably resplendent. It was enough to steal one's soul. Suddenly his eyes seemed to become two blue crystals. A formless soul attack swiftly pierced into Luo Feng's mind. In his mind, there were two huge blue spirals madly revolving. Ping. As the two blue spirals clashed, occasionally blue crystals would form, directly piercing into Luo Feng's god energy. Chi. Luo Feng felt the life imprint within his god energy, as though his skin was being splashed with acid. The intense pain pierced through his soul. However, Luo Feng's expression didn't change. He had even survived the life and death inheritance. How could he fall so easily? Afterimage. God. Luo Feng roared within. The purple crystal, three-edged crystal in the center of his chest immediately emitted countless origin law threads, connecting every part of his god energy, causing his life imprint to seem to be covered with a layer of armor. Simultaneously, peculiar beast roars resounded from the three-edged crystal, spreading throughout his body, swiftly weakening the pain. Simultaneously, Luo Feng swiftly controlled his god energy to madly attack the two huge blue spirals, wanting to completely expel them, or even destroy them. Destroy. 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 Ban Fu Master was in the distance, staring at Luo Feng. The two blue crystal balls in his eyes constantly spun, sending formless attacks over. The first goal before has already failed. I don't believe that I can't even kill him with my soul. Fall for me. Ban Fu Master used all his strength. Soul destruction was completely different from physical destruction. After the soul was destroyed, only his life imprint would completely vanish. Luo Feng's body would remain, just that he would fall. Just like the master of Yanmo planet. Rumble. There was an explosion before Luo Feng. You failed. Luo Feng stared at him. He had the armor and afterimage to defend. He didn't expect it to be so taxing on him. The demon, automaton and bug race alliance's Ban Fu Master was indeed extremely strong in terms of hypnotism and soul attacks. It was a pity that to kill Luo Feng with his soul, it was far from enough. Ban Fu Master couldn't believe it. However, he could only report to the bug race queen. The second goal has failed. Luo Feng may have an extremely powerful soul treasure. His defense speed is too fast. I'm guessing that he may have an elite soul treasure. Double quote. The strongest warriors of the bug race, automaton race and demon race received the news. They were immediately enraged and unwilling. However, their rage was useless. Soul control, soul destruction, they had all failed. Ban Fu, execute the third goal, kill Luo Feng for me. He would take back all the treasures of the universe's venerables, as well as his own supreme treasures. To be able to get the elite soul treasures and many other treasures, this mission is worth it. The bug race queen ordered. Yes. Chapter 1138 Swallowed Star. Lord of Ban Fu stepped on the black seawater, his hands holding a green spear that was 10 times longer than his body. The tip of the spear had faint bloodstains, and it exuded an ancient aura and a bloody aura. Luo Feng, even if you're the universe lord, today will be the day you fall. The Ban Fu lord let out a low roar. His 4 claws stepped on the water and whistled as he rushed towards Luo Feng. The long spear in his hand pointed at Luo Feng. It seemed like a normal charge, but the entire space seemed to tremble. This was a technique infused with space and time. Ha, come. Luo Feng too flapped his wings and his body became a blur. The space and time around him became chaotic as he became a beam of light and rushed over. However, with the Fushan Ocean Domain's suppression, Luo Feng's speed wasn't too fast. Hula. Banfu Lord wielded the spear with both hands, and it seemed like a normal stab. If a spectator was watching, they wouldn't be able to tell how powerful the stab was. Only Luo Feng, who was the target of the spear, felt as though the entire universe was pierced through by that spear. Its power was unbelievable. The primal planet's incomparably congealed space had a visible linear crack. A golden light flashed. It was sharp and cold. Dang! The blood shadow blade immediately clashed with the tip of the spear. The two's energies immediately clashed. Without a sound or presence, the surrounding 100 kilometers of black ocean water was immediately pushed away. The surrounding wasteland too immediately vanished. It was silent. What followed was a violent rumbling sound. Like a small car being rammed by a large truck, Luo Feng was sent flying. And Banfu Lord's four hooves retreated a few steps before stopping. Universe Lord's ultimate technique. Banfu Lord looked at Luo Feng. You can create the Universe Lord's ultimate technique, yet why is your god body's genetic level still only 100 times? With the time to create the technique, the human race should have helped you raise your genetic level. Double quote. Why ask so many questions? Luo Feng stopped in mid-air. He knew what Lord of Banfu meant. Normal life forms such as humans, demons, insectoids, space behemoths, Mosha race, and other life forms that could reproduce for generations could only increase their genetic level by 100 times even if they used various methods. This was the limit. Many universe overlords had reached this stage. As for the lords of the universe, they were existences that transcended space-time. They were the masters of space-time. They were known as the masters of the universe. For sector lords, undying, and universe supremacies, 100 times was the limit. But for the lords of the universe, as existences that transcended space-time, they could exceed the limit of 100 times. They could use all sorts of methods to increase their gene levels. As their gene levels increased, their divine bodies would gradually become stronger. Even their bodies could gradually become larger. The shackles of body size and the level of one's genes disappeared when they became the Lord of the universe. They could get close to the legendary perfect gene level 10,081 times. However, it was very difficult. Ordinary lords of the universe could only allow themselves to reach around 1,000 times. It was very difficult to reach 2,000 to 3,000 times, and it was even more difficult to reach 5,000 times and above. As for the legendary perfect gene, that was just a legend. If you are the Lord of the universe and have the time to create secret arts, you should first improve your divine body. Lord of Banfu sneered. Or perhaps you're a universe venerable whose genetic level is 10,000 times higher, and you've been bestowed with a heaven-defying innate secret art, the one you used just now? Whether or no, I'm the Lord of the universe, you'll know soon enough. Luo Feng wielded the blood shadow blade and rushed forward again. Come. It doesn't matter if you're a heaven-defying Lord of the universe, or a young Lord of the universe. Even though I'm an illusionary school, I can still kill you. Lord of Banfu's four hooves stepped on the ocean water. The space trembled as he rushed towards Luo Feng. Rumble. 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 The two were like mad demons. Lord of Banfu would occasionally use soul attacks to affect Luo Feng at crucial moments, and occasionally use illusions to affect Luo Feng. Plus his divine body's genetic level was close to 2,000 times, and his god energy purity was 20 times higher than Luo Feng's, along with his illusions and other techniques, and most importantly, the floating mountain sea domain suppressed Luo Feng. This put Luo Feng at a complete disadvantage. Peng. Luo Feng was tossed and turned in the ocean water. However, he quickly rushed forward again. The two used all their strength and techniques, killing each other. Lord of Banfu relied on the floating mountain sea domain to help him, along with his illusions and other techniques, especially with his god energy purity 20 times higher than Luo Feng's. He naturally had the upper hand. However, Luo Feng had the pinnacle treasures, the Calamity armor, which reduced all attacks to 1/100,000%. Also, Lord of Banfu's body was only 100 kilometers long, Luo Feng's body was actually 90,000 kilometers long. The battle consumed very little energy. Universe Lord level battles were like this. Because their bodies were huge, their defenses were strong, and the difference in strength was usually only 1 or 2 levels, it was very hard to kill the opponent. Hence, it was very hard for a Universe Lord to fall. Unless it was a real fight. Like Luo Feng and Banfu Lord, they fought time and again, madly burning their god energy. My god energy purity is higher than yours. I have a top-level armor. My body is over 100 kilometers long. I don't believe I can't exhaust you to death. Even though it seemed laughable, this was the reason why Universe Lords found it hard to fall. Banfu Lord. Luo Feng once again flew away and floated in the black ocean water, roaring, "If you have the ability, get that Tong Ridge Lord to keep the floating mountain sea. 2 against 1, what's the point?" Double quote. This is to kill you, it's not a spar. Banfu Lord however laughed. Bastard. Luo Feng completely felt his weakness compared to Banfu Lord, and that was the difference in his god energy purity. His battle techniques were comparable. Rumble suddenly, a faint sound resounded, transmitting into Luo Feng and Banfu Lord's souls. Even all the knights and Universe Lords on the primal planet heard that sound. This made Dragon Lord on the other side of the primal planet laugh. Primal chaos, they've arrived. Thousand Treasure River. Luo Feng, who was fighting Banfu Lord, revealed a look of glee. Hua hua. The space river covered the entire primal planet. Ping. 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 Thousand Treasure River and Floating Mountain Sea began to clash on the primal planet. Just like back when Luo Feng fought Xian Tu's knight, the 2 domain treasures clashed. Both being top-level domain treasures, Thousand Treasure River and Floating Mountain Sea madly clashed again and again, each occupying half of the area. The center of the battle was Luo Feng and Banfu Lord. Haha, Tong Ridge Lord, you and Banfu Lord are teaming up to bully my disciple, isn't that too embarrassing? Laughter resounded from Thousand Treasure River and into the Floating Mountain Sea region. Primal Chaos City Leader, this time the 3 races are working together. Do you think we only have this? Just this and you want to help your disciple? Haha, let me tell you, even if I don't interfere, your disciple is dead for sure. Tong Ridge Lord's voice resounded throughout Thousand Treasure River. Luo Feng gritted his teeth as he looked at the distant Banfu Lord. The surroundings were filled with endless jade green lights. Or world. Luo Feng grit his teeth. This is the Bud Clan's Jade Field Lord or world. Just now, when the Primal Chaos City Master and Through Ridge Master's 2 domain treasures clashed, this Master of Banfu brought out Oro Realm. He actually also had a peak domain treasure, and he had been hiding it all this time. HMPH. Banfu Lord laughed mockingly at Luo Feng. In this mission, I'll be in charge of killing you. How could I not have prepared well? It's just that I needed a soul attack at the start. I was afraid I'd use the Ore World to scare you and let you escape. Hence I waited till now. With the top-level domain treasure to help, when we fight, you'll be weaker while I'll be stronger. That way, you'll die even faster. I don't have time to waste with you. Double quote. Very good. Luo Feng smiled. Very good. Ha ha ha, ha ha ha. What are you laughing at? Banfu Lord felt something amiss. Banfu Lord, I'll let you have a taste of my strongest move after stepping into the Universe Lord level. I've endured for so long, waiting for this moment, and right now, it's about time. I reckon, many of the knights from the 3-race alliance have already entered the danger zone. Luo Feng smiled. What did you say? Banfu Lord's expression changed slightly, after which he laughed coldly. Whatever moves you have, don't waste time. Ha ha ha. Luo Feng looked at the endless jade-green lights. Along with his laughter, the entire sky and land immediately darkened. Countless gray energy currents madly surged. In an instant, the entire sky and land seemed to have entered another world. This was a chaotic world, filled with endless chaos energy currents. His strongest natural ability, I'm the universe. The moment I'm the universe was unleashed, its largest diameter could reach 10 billion kilometers. Within that 10 billion kilometers, it would form an oval-shaped miniature universe. Why is the sky dark? Before it was black ocean water, after that it was an endless river. After that, there were countless jade-green lights. Right now even the sky is completely dark. This, don't tell me this is the legendary chaos energy flow? The demon race, bug race, and automaton race in the danger zone, the large number of supremacies and universe overlords from the three alliances looked up curiously at the sky. The surroundings were still filled with the green light spots, but other than the green light spots, there was also the endless chaotic energy flow. Just the pressure produced by the chaotic energy flow caused them to hold their breaths. They felt that this chaotic energy flow could easily crush them. Luo Feng stood in mid-air, maintaining the 10 billion kilometer diameter miniature universe. Within it, he was the master. It's really powerful. Luo Feng closed his eyes, enjoying it immensely. Back when he killed Xian Wu Knight, he was only an undying. Naturally the miniature universe he unleashed wasn't too strong. Even killing the Mist Knight required large amounts of chaos energy to be crushed by the universe grinder, but now, Luo Feng's god energy was 100 times purer. The entire miniature universe was 100 times stronger. Just a little chaos energy flow could easily crush an upper-level knight. One had to know, Luo Feng's 90,000 kilometers long god body hadn't even used 1/10,000th of it up till now. However, unleashing I'm the universe consumed 10% of his god body every time, and it only lasted for 9 seconds. With so much god body consumption, one could imagine how terrifying this miniature universe was. Chapter 1139 Swallowed Star. Compared to when he killed Xian Hua back then, the miniature universe that was 2 whole levels stronger was able to completely wipe out the 3 Pinnacle Race Alliance's knights. This feeling of controlling the fates of thousands of knights made Luo Feng feel an unprecedented joy and excitement. I've been waiting for this moment. Luo Feng was extremely happy and crazy at this time. Back when the demon god charged into Purple Thorn Island to kill him, Luo Feng was indeed furious. However, very quickly he understood that this was the universe's law of strength. When he displayed his terrifying potential, the 3 Pinnacle races wanting to eliminate him was understandable. Then what he had to do was make the 3 Pinnacle races unwilling to mess with him, afraid that they would mess with him again. Just like how the 3 Pinnacle races didn't want to mess with the Primal Chaos City leader. How to do it? Back then Luo Feng had formulated many plans for his rise to fame. The first plan was to simply kill the Pinnacle Overlord Xian Hua, letting the trillions of races in the universe know that he, Luo Feng, had the strength of a universe lord. If the 3 Pinnacle races just gave up, that would naturally be a good thing. Luo Feng wouldn't cause a huge ruckus, and he would have enough prestige in the vast universe. However, if the 3 Pinnacle races really wanted to cause a huge ruckus, Luo Feng had many other plans. During the actual implementation, the worst situation occurred. Xian Hua actually had the Flying Palace treasure White Needle, allowing him to escape and follow Luo Feng. As he didn't truly kill Xian Hua, naturally the shock wasn't enough, plus he followed Luo Feng. Naturally the 3 Pinnacle races decided to use the opportunity to eliminate Luo Feng. Actually, with Luo Feng's Moshe clansman's abilities, he could easily shake off Xian Hua Knight, and when the 3 Pinnacle races' formations were still rough and crude, he could swiftly escape to the closest whirlpool pathway and escape. However, Luo Feng didn't do that. He allowed Xian Hua to follow him. After a period of time, Luo Feng estimated that the three pinnacle races had already reached a consensus and had begun to deploy their forces. Only then did Luo Feng begin to shake off Xian Hua. After shaking off Xian Hua, Luo Feng didn't use all his strength to flee. At the start, he only relied on his earth body to fly and dodge. He was very clear that the three pinnacle races would definitely send many universe lords. After all, they were too weak to deal with him. When that happened, the Great Alliance would at least send universe lords to interfere. Hence, he could only rely on a large number of universe venerables to surround him and determine his whereabouts. At the start, Luo Feng didn't use the Moshe clansman's domain. That was because he was afraid the three races wouldn't use it. After the large amounts of knights surrounded him, Luo Feng began his slaughter. The Moshe clansman used its natural talent domain to be shockingly fast, causing the knights to have no way to escape. And the real result was indeed ruthless. Over 800 universe supremacies were killed. Of course, this was just the appetizer. The universe lord sent by the three-race alliance, Master Ban Fu, had finally arrived. Luo Feng welcomed him without fear. Actually, Luo Feng had long wanted to battle with the universe lord to test his abilities. With the calamity armor and Yu Xiang on him, the golden horned beast with the star pagoda, not to mention the universe lord, he was the strongest in the universe. Luo Feng had the confidence to survive. Fighting the Lord of Banfu was just a test of his abilities. What truly caused the three races alliance to feel heartache and regret? This was his strongest mystic technique, I'm the universe. I'm the universe had a diameter of 10 billion kilometers, and over half of the people surrounding Luo Feng on the primal planet had already entered this range. The current I'm the universe was ridiculously powerful. Of his many techniques, probably only the Star Pagoda could surpass it. Killing the knights was simply a blink of an eye. At this point, the plan had just reached its climax. The majestic Dragon Emperor stood in mid-air. He had been working hard to control the space around him, interfering with the space that the other universe lords couldn't control. Although he couldn't control it, he could faintly sense an incomparably huge and terrifying aura in the distance. This aura shocked even him. Primal chaos, what's going on? What's going on? Dragon Emperor asked anxiously. Don't tell me the three races have some special techniques. Double quote. He didn't know the situation. And the Primal Chaos City Master who controlled the Thousand Treasures River was very clear that his Thousand Treasures River had already touched that huge miniature universe. This is, the Primal Chaos City leader was extremely shocked. It already has a trace of the primal universe. This kind of secret technique was probably the strongest secret technique of the Master of the Universe. Who used this secret technique? Could it be that Banfu has already comprehended the strongest secret technique of the Master of the Universe? Double quote. The Primal Chaos City leader was extremely shocked. The techniques created by the Universe Lord were separated into the Pinnacle and the Ultimate. However, the Ultimate techniques of the Universe Lord had different levels too. Some barely made it past the threshold of the Ultimate level, while others reached the limits of the Ultimate level. This was the Universe Lord's strongest technique. It represented a limit that a Universe Lord could reach. Those who could create such a mystic art were all famous lords of the universe. Like the Primal Chaos City leader, the Nine Underworlds leader. If the Banfu leader can do it, then that's not good. The Primal Chaos City leader was frustrated. From the surface, he didn't even know who unleashed this miniature universe. This is. Lord Tongling was equally shocked. His floating mountain sea had also come into contact with this miniature universe, and he could sense the boundless might contained within it. The Universe Lord's strongest technique? The Tong Mountain leader immediately deduced. It was simple. If this technique could transform God energy into the most basic chaos energy, that would be the universe lord's limit. To surpass such a technique, only the universe's strongest could do it. Who created it? Luo Feng. Impossible. Double quote. Banfu. Right, his mastery of the soul can be said to be at the pinnacle of the universe lords. It's not strange that he could create it. The Tong Mountain leader sighed. I didn't expect that even I couldn't create such a technique, yet Banfu beat me to it. The ultimate technique wasn't difficult for the universe lords. As long as they spent enough time, they could achieve it. However, the ultimate limit. The legendary universe lord's strongest technique was something most universe lords couldn't even create. Primitive Planet 02933, the miniature universe suddenly appeared. Outside the miniature universe, the City Master of Primal Chaos, the Dragon Master, the Mountain Master, and some other masters of the universe did not know who cast it. Many even believed that it was Master of Banfu who cast it. However, within the miniature universe, Banfu, you actually created the strongest technique? A towering beast with 6 thick claws and a long nose noticed the endless chaotic airflow around it. It was startled at first, then it immediately let out a sound. The sound echoed in the aura realm of the turquoise light spots. Ha ha ha, congratulations, Banfu. A humanoid lord of the universe with black scales on his head and 3 eyes that glowed with a dark red light spoke up as well. This time, the 3 races sent a total of 9 universe lords. The other 6 universe lords were scattered in different directions. Banfu Lord and Luo Feng were engaged in battle. Simultaneously the other 2 universe lords rushed into the danger zone. Suddenly. This isn't a secret technique that I used. It's Luo Feng, it's the human Luo Feng. An incomparably furious voice swiftly resounded around the 2 universe lords. What? The 2 universe lords were completely dumbfounded. How was that possible? Quickly, work with me to break this technique. The strongest technique is extremely powerful. Even my top-level domain treasures can't break it. Banfu leader urged anxiously. All right. Together. They didn't have time to be shocked that Luo Feng was the one who unleashed it. The other 2 universe lords immediately understood that things weren't looking good. Such a huge miniature universe, the amount of knights within would definitely be many. The moment they were killed, to reverse time and space and revive so many of them, even the 3 universe lords of the Alliance would be heavily injured. The moment Luo Feng's miniature universe formed, Banfu leader immediately knew something was amiss. He controlled his top-level domain treasure aura world to attack the entire miniature universe. However, this was formed from Luo Feng's huge body's large amounts of God energy through the complicated miniature universe engravings. His stability was unbelievable. Luo Feng, don't be rash. As Banfu leader attacked, he communicated to the distant Luo Feng, there are a total of over 6,000 knights here. These are the 3 great alliances knights, not just our Bud Clan alliance. There are many more races involved. If you kill them, you incur the wrath of many races. The amount of God energy used to revive the bodies of over 6,000 knights is astronomical. The price to revive them is terrifyingly high. If you do that, the consequences will be dire. The 3 great alliance will definitely go crazy. Double quote. Banfu leader was panicking. The treasures of over 6,000 knights were important. But their lives were important too. These were all high-level knights, and even some universe overlords. Reviving an autarch of the universe required the strongest experts of the universe, and reviving 1 or 2 high-level venerables of the universe was a very difficult task even for an ordinary universe lord. If it was 10 or 100, only the extremely powerful and heaven-defying universe lords would be able to do it. Reviving over 6,000? My God! The strongest warriors of the 3 great alliance, universe lords all working together, all heavily injured, couldn't possibly revive them all. And to rely on the Universe Lord's own recovery abilities to slowly reverse space and revive over 6,000, how long would that take? If they paid a huge price to allow the Universe Lord to constantly recover and revive, that price would be ridiculously high. Compared to the price of reviving, these high-level knights mostly used sets of treasures, and a few treasures. Adding them all together, they could barely compare to a pinnacle domain treasure. Far less terrifying than the price of reviving. Offend the three great alliances. They'll go crazy. Double quote. Ha ha ha, trying to kill me time and time again, destroying my soul, making me unable to revive forever. And they still want to negotiate with me? Floating in mid-air, Luo Feng's eyes gleamed coldly and crazily, simultaneously his hands pressed downwards. All of you, die. Rumble. The entire miniature universe's endless chaos energy was like a huge steel plate, pressing downwards. The countless jade-green lights were hard to defend against. No. The over 6,000 universe paragons from the bug race, demon race and automaton races looked at the sky and cried out in shock. Following the loud rumbling sounds, it was as though the entire miniature universe was shaking, as though a huge steel plate had crushed thousands of flies into meat paste. One by one, the universe paragons were annihilated, even their treasures were crushed. Chapter 1140 Swallowed Star. The other two universe lords within the miniaturized cosmos were just about to fly towards the end of the miniaturized cosmos to destroy it. However, just as they were about to fly, the entire miniaturized cosmos origin source activated the boundless primal chaos air currents rumbled and crushed down, killing over 6,000 universe supremacies. The six-hooved long-nosed beast and the three-eyed man, these two universe lords were completely shocked. They knew that this matter had gotten out of hand. Banfu Lord's eyes stared wide. His eyes burned with flames as he stared angrily at Luo Feng. How dare you? Ha ha ha, of course I'm not. You've all angered me and wanted to kill me, why would I hold back? If they dare to kill me, I dare to kill you too. Luo Feng roared fiercely. Within the vast miniature universe, endless chaos energy madly surged towards Luo Feng. Hua hua hua. Luo Feng's body immediately expanded to over 1,000 kilometers. The blood shadow blade in his hand too was a few hundred km long. The chaos energy surged into the blade and infused within. In an instant, the surroundings of the blade became a blurry huge blade silhouette. Receive my blade. Luo Feng roared. Kill me. Arrogant. Banfu Lord wielded his long spear and roared as he rushed forward. Banfu Lord's spear carried the power of the Russian world, it affected space and time. Luo Feng's blade even carried the support of the miniature universe's origin laws, using the ultimate golden light technique to activate it. Rumble. The moment the two collided, the powerful might caused the surroundings to instantly turn into a vacuum of nothingness. Regardless of whether it was the chaotic air currents or the green spots of light from the aura realm, everything was blocked out. Even the flow of spatial particles was swept away. Banfu Lord's four hooves retreated rapidly. Luo Feng only retreated 2 steps. Ha ha ha, Luo Feng rushed forward again. What? Banfu Lord stared wide-eyed. He didn't expect to be at a disadvantage. Rumble. 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 At Lord of Banfu's level, the exchange of blows was extremely fast. They clashed again, and in just 3 seconds, they had exchanged dozens of blows. Each time, Lord of Banfu was suppressed. When the two of them collided for the last time, the entire miniaturized universe instantly dissipated, along with the chaotic air currents. Haha, Master of Banfu, I can't do anything to you, and there's no point in continuing to fight with you. I'll be leaving first. Luo Feng used the last exchange to swiftly flap his 4 wings, becoming a beam of light and swiftly flying into the distance. Simultaneously his voice resounded throughout the land and skies. You want to escape? Banfu Lord roared, becoming a beam of light and swiftly chasing. Simultaneously the Russian realm madly tried to stop Luo Feng. However, the Russian world may have been able to easily kill a universe tyrant, but Luo Feng's killing Wu Yu's wings broke through countless jade light obstructions, allowing his speed to continue soaring. Even though it was very slow, when Lord of Banfu was about 10,000 kilometers away from him, he still reached light speed and continued to fly. The two of them were tens of thousands of kilometers apart, flying one after the other. This time Luo Feng unleashed his miniature universe. Controlling the endless chaos energy to kill over 6,000 knights, the entire process of accumulating, mobilizing and crushing took a total of 6 seconds. During this time, Luo Feng was also conversing with Banfu Lord. The battle lasted for 3 seconds. When the entire miniature universe lasted for 9 seconds, Luo Feng swiftly cut off the god energy supply, causing the miniature universe to automatically dissipate. Every time he unleashed it, it took at least 9 seconds. This was the shortest amount of time. In just a short while, Luo Feng's god body had been depleted by 10%. It's a pity that after the 6,000 knights died, they were too far away. Their treasures were too hard for me to retrieve. Luo Feng muttered to himself as he flew, not without a sense of pride. Of course he was proud. Because this battle was destined to become an unforgettable, shocking event in the history of the universe, causing over 6,000 knights, at least high level, to die at once. This was extremely rare even in the history of the countless powers in the universe. It was enough to shake the entire universe. And something as peculiar as Luo Feng's incident had never happened before. Over 6,000 knights coming to surround Luo Feng and getting wiped out in one fell swoop. This indeed had never happened before. Like the large-scale battles in the history of the universe, they were usually battles between the large powers of the universe, after which an absolute being would kill his way into the enemy's base and carry out a large-scale massacre, etc. Luo Feng swiftly flew, glancing behind and communicating, "Banfu Lord, you can't do anything to me, why are you still chasing? Bastard." Banfu Lord was behind, unwilling to give up. This matter had gotten out of hand. This wasn't a large-scale battle that involved the annihilation of the entire race. Just one operation to surround and kill Luo Feng actually caused the 3 great races to suffer such a huge loss. And the one responsible for killing Luo Feng, Banfu Lord, was naturally filled with rage. Thousand Treasure River. Luo Feng continued to fly towards the distant Thousand Treasure River. One had to know that the clashes between Thousand Treasure River and Fu Shanhei were based on the battle between Luo Feng and Banfu Lord. Luo Feng very quickly flew into the Thousand Treasure River domain. Haha, Luo Feng was in Thousand Treasure River, turning back to look at Banfu Lord who had already stopped. "Why aren't you chasing?" "Luo Feng, don't get cocky." Banfu Lord's voice was low and filled with rage. "I admire your strength. You are powerful, actually able to create the strongest technique. However, this matter won't end so easily. Killing over 6,000 high-level sages from the 3 alliances, how could the 3 alliances not go crazy?" "Then I'll wait." Luo Feng smiled. "You won't be able to handle it." Banfu Lord stared at Luo Feng. "Ah, is that so?" Luo Feng smiled, turning and flying towards the depths of Thousand Treasure River. HMPH. Lord Banfu immediately turned around and flew back. At the same time, he controlled the Aura realm to sweep up the treasures left behind by the 6,000 plus dead universe supremacies, causing them to fly towards him. However, no matter how fast the treasures flew, they couldn't exceed 300,000 kilometers per second, and these treasures were scattered everywhere. There were many that were billions of km away from him. It would take a long time to reach. When the Primal Chaos City leader saw the miniature universe earlier, he immediately felt something was amiss. Banfu Lord created the strongest technique. Not good, Luo Feng is in deep trouble this time. However, since he's forced to this point, it seems like the soul control and soul infiltration failed. However, with the death of his body, the treasures will be lost. Double quote. HM. He's out. The primal chaos city leaders suddenly realized the miniature universe had dispersed and Luo Feng was flying towards him. Even though due to the obstruction of the Russian world, Thousand Treasure River was unable to scan the treasures left behind by the dead knights. However, after Luo Feng flew into the river, Banfu Lord's furious roar echoed throughout the river. The primal chaos city leader naturally knew about it. The content of the roar was, "I admire your strength, you are powerful, actually being able to create the strongest technique. However, this matter won't end so easily. Killing over 6,000 high-level knights from the three great alliances, how could the three great alliances not go crazy?" Double quote. The primal chaos city leader was truly shocked. Luo Feng. Within Thousand Treasure River, a voice resounded in his ears. "Teacher," Luo Feng said. "That Universe Lord's strongest technique was unleashed by you?" "Yes," Luo Feng immediately admitted. "You killed over 6,000 Universe Supremacies." "Yes, I killed them all, don't leave a single one alive," Luo Feng said. The primal chaos city leader was silent. Luo Feng could unleash the Universe Lord's strongest technique. Luo Feng had killed over 6,000 knights at once, with the lowest being an upper-level knight. These two pieces of news, even a being like the primal chaos city leader was stunned, finding it hard to comprehend, wondering how such a thing could happen. Miracle. In the universe, indeed anything can happen. The primal chaos city leader muttered to himself, after which he communicated, "Luo Feng, from now on, you are a Universe Lord. Your disciple doesn't dare lie to teacher, actually your disciple hasn't truly become a Universe Lord yet," Luo Feng said. Hiding it, he had to hide it from the other races and outsiders. Like his teacher, there was no need to hide it, and his teacher understood him deeply. He should be able to see through it. "If I say you are a Universe Lord, then you are a Universe Lord. Right now, what's the difference between you and a true Universe Lord? Even if you cross that threshold in the future, it'll just make your body a little stronger, adding another ability to control time and space, that's all," the primal chaos city leader said. "Stepping into the Universe Lord level won't increase your strength by much anymore." Double quote. Luo Feng understood what his teacher meant. When other warriors stepped into the Universe Lord level, 1. Their body would rise, 2. Their comprehension of the laws would rise, allowing them to create stronger techniques. Their techniques would also rise by 2 to 3 levels. Overall, their battle strength would naturally be much stronger than when they were Universe Lords. However, Luo Feng was different. Luo Feng's techniques had already reached the peak of the Universe Lord level, the strongest technique. Even when he stepped into the Universe Lord level, only his God energy would be purer, his control of time and space wouldn't be of much help in a battle against a Universe Lord. Empress, Luo Feng unleashed the Universe Lord's strongest technique. Its power is overwhelming, forming a huge world with a diameter of over 10 billion kilometers, immediately causing the 6,000 overnights within that area to fall. Even though Banfu Lord was having a headache, he still sent the news to the Bud Empress. Actually, he didn't even need to send the message. Many of the Knights' clones were destroyed simultaneously. A total of over 6,000 of the Knights from the three great alliances were destroyed. This had already caused many races in the three great alliances to rage, panic and roar. This shocked the upper echelon of the three great alliances. The Universe Lords of the three great alliances all roared with rage. "If Luo Feng doesn't die, will our three great alliances still have any face? This is a scandal of our three great alliances." Double quote. "Kill Luo Feng, we have to kill him." "How do we kill him?" Who will do it? Do we think the Great Alliance is stupid? Double quote. The universe lords argued endlessly, all of them felt humiliated. The other powers of the universe would treat the three great alliances as a joke, and Luo Feng would step on them and become famous in the universe. This was something the universe lords of the three great alliances couldn't tolerate. The two strongest experts of the demon race, Demon Ancestor Dream and Demon Ancestors Hen, the queen of the Zerg race, and the godfather of the automaton race, gathered under such circumstances to discuss this matter seriously. I just want to thank those who are listening the audio. Thank you for your support. Kindly subscribe.